So Tracy, we good with the numbers?
We are good to go, and just so everybody knows that we are now recording and live to YouTube. Oh, there's Matthew.
Okay.
Okay,
All right,
Jordy.
good morning, everyone, and welcome to our September 14th Sexual Offender Risk Review Board meeting. I'd like to welcome members of the public, our fellow board members, Executive Director Tracy Alford, and Kaylin, who's in there running the scenes for us this morning. Prior to moving on, I'd like to welcome our three newest board members, Robbie Fedrick, who's a retired Clayton County police captain and director of American International Institute of Polygraph, James Chafin, who's the Jackson County Assistant District Attorney, and Jim Morton, who I've known for many years, who's a licensed professional counselor specializing in sex offender treatment and the director of ARP counseling. Okay, I'd like to make sure that everyone looked over the meeting minutes from August 10th, 2023. And if so, do we have any debate, discussion, or concerns for those meeting minutes? Do I hear a motion to adopt those minutes?
I motion that we adopt the August minutes.
Second.
Do I hear a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Do we have any opposition at this time? Then it passes. Okay, as with the schedule says, we have no standing committees or reports at this time. And moving to unfinished business, we don't have any. So we'll move right into our new business with Tracy.
You're muted, Tracy. We can't hear you.
Kaylin, let Tracy know we can't hear her.
I got it. Sorry about that. So the 2024 calendar, we need to get this approved so I can also get into our database regarding court orders and how the database functions. And let me pull it up for everybody. Well, I was going to pull it up for everybody. Oh, here we go. Sorry about that. I thought I had this up. For the 2024 calendar, there we go. So you all should have received this, and it's really just the second Thursday, as we already have it every month. And I was looking for holidays to see if there would be any impact to holidays. I don't think that there are. And as long as everybody's still good with this kind of schedule that we've had for the last couple of years, it's been the second Thursday of every month. And then we'll be looking at the retreat around March or April. So when we figure out when that date will be, then that date may change for that month that we do the retreat. So I do want people to be thinking about dates and that will work for your schedule, as well as topics for the training for the retreat. But other than that, the schedule is pretty consistent with how we've been doing it for the last couple of years. Did anybody have any thoughts or questions about the calendar?
So any debate, discussions, or concerns on the calendars that's presented to us this morning? Do I hear a motion to adopt the calendar as presented?
I motion.
I
Second.
second.
Tracy, you got the second?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. So I'll just let everybody know that the 2024 calendar has been confirmed. I'm guessing there's nobody against it since nobody said anything. So I'll let everybody know that will be the calendar, and we'll decide on the date for the retreat. Probably need to be start thinking about it and then discussing it by the next board meeting, which what we're going to be doing is, as discussed the last board meeting, that we need to move the October board meeting because I'm going to be out of the country. And so October 19th is a proposed board meeting date. So Jared, if you want to discuss that being the change date.
So we brought that up in the last meeting, and I guess we all agreed that we would back Tracy on that. And so we're going to make it official now. Do we have any debate or concerns over moving the next board meeting to October 19, 2023? Do I hear a motion to move it to October 19, 2023?
I motion.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Do we have any opposition? It passes.
Okay, great. I appreciate it. Thank you, everybody.
Before we move into our leveling of the cases, I just wanted to remind the public that SORB's purpose and mission is protecting Georgia's children and communities at large by identifying convicted sexual offenders that present the greatest risk of sexually reoffending. And it's the board's responsibility to determine the likelihood that a sexual offender will engage in another crime against a victim who is a minor or a dangerous sexual offense. Assessments will be used by SORB to determine the risk level of the offenders. Offenders will then be classed as level 1, level 2, or sexually dangerous predator, as you'll see this morning. Before we move into the leveling of the cases, I'd like Tracy to explain the leveling process. Tracy?
Okay, so first, just want to let y'all know we have 3 new board members. They have just started on the board. So today is just going to give them the experience of being at a meeting. They will not be voting on any of the cases. We have, so 1 of the new board members was sworn in, 2 have not yet been sworn in, but have been appointed. And so towards the quorum is only the 1, not the 3. So I also want to make that a point. So we do have a sufficient quorum today, with the exception of any cases that are recused by Matthew Connolly. We will not be able to vote on those cases because we have just enough to have a quorum for the cases. So I did want to put that out there really quick. And then, so how we conduct classifications is our investigators look through the criminal history of each offender and look for relevant information associated with risk, and they collect all the criminal documentation and provide that to the evaluators. The evaluators, who are all experts in the field of sex offender behavior and risk, then review that all that documentation in addition to prison records and community supervision records, treatment records, polygraphs. They put all that information into a report and make a recommendation for classification for the board members to then review and make a final determination. If we determine that and finalize an individual as a level 2 or sexually dangerous predator, they have the ability to request a reevaluation if they think the classification is inaccurate based on lack of information or inaccurate information. They then have 120 days to provide us information that they would like us to review as part of that reevaluation. The evaluator then puts that information into another report, provides that to the board, and the board will make the final determination. And the offender has another opportunity to then take it for judicial review in front of a judge, to then for the judge to determine if we'll remain with that classification. I do want to point out too that you're seeing a lot of sexually dangerous predator designations. So this month, why is that not looking right? Okay, we had 18. Why is that not correct? That is not showing correct for some reason. Oh, there it is. Okay, I'm sorry. So there is 18. So for the sexually dangerous predators, and it's just because this is, there's 18 sexually dangerous predator cases this month, which is a lot of SDPs. And so I just want to kind of share that because we have a backlog, our goal is making sure that we focus on the most dangerous offenders. And we're able, once we go through the criminal history, we are able to identify if somebody has more than 1 sex offense arrest. So anyone who has more than one sex offense arrest, we're going to make them an immediate priority case, and the evaluators are going to focus on those cases. Amanda and Kirsten actually are referred those immediate priority cases. We actually try to really focus on, if we have a case that has at least 3 arrests, we're definitely going to prioritize those first. So because we prioritize immediate priority cases, you're going to see more high risk classifications than the lower risk classifications, because again, we're focusing on those. And I do want to point out, just to give some kudos, Kirsten actually, out of the 18 SDPs, worked on 12 of those are her cases. And what that just means is when we have high priority cases, those are worked on have a substantial amount of documentation that the evaluator has to review given the number of offenses that individual has. So it's a lot of work, it takes a lot of time. And for a person to have gotten through 12 of those is great, because of course we want to get through as many immediate priority cases as we can to get them classified. So I did want to put that out there, that of course all the evaluators do an excellent job and it's a lot of work. And we also had 9 reevaluation cases, which again can be a lot of work. So just want to put that out there that everybody's doing an awesome job, and I appreciate that.
I second that. Thank you, Kirsten, and thank you to all the evaluators for all your hard work and for getting these cases to us in a timely manner and making today seamless with the cases that we have to review. I appreciate it, and the board appreciates it. Okay, moving on to the leveling process, the level 1 cases. Tracy, I'm showing 17.
Correct.
With the level 1 cases, do we have any recusals for conflict?
I do.
So Matthew is recused from 15632, so that case will be pulled. So we will actually be voting potentially on 16 cases unless there's other recusals.
And the 23813, I guess that's a Frank Mullis recusal?
Let's see. 23.
Disregard.
Okay.
21.
Okay.
Okay, do we have any conflicts for failure to review any of the level 1 cases? Do we have any debate, discussion, or concerns on any of the level 1 cases at this time?
I had one I wanted to discuss, is really more just a question. 23425. It appears that one was sort of, I don't know, in my view, maybe it's not a fair assessment, but it was sort of defaulted to a level 1 based upon a lack of information. This is the individual that evaded arrest. He fled and evaded arrest for more than 3 years. He was the mother friend and was having sexual intercourse with her 13-year-old daughter, and she caught them in the act. He ran. He had a pending warrant for 3 years. There's no information about his community supervision record. There's no information about whether or not he completed sex offender treatment, and then he was deemed a level 1. So I just have concerns about.
Oh,
Did you get the last part of that, Tracy?
I didn't. Nope, she's frozen. And honestly, we can't move forward without Katie for voting anyway. So we're going to have to wait until she comes back up.
Is Katie attempting to come back in?
I'm assuming because I think she signed off, so I'm guessing.
Okay.
She. Gerard, we have somebody on that's on the phone. I'm not sure who that is. Who's on the phone? Your number's 2423.
Tracy, it could be me.
Oh,
I
okay.
just logged in on another line.
Okay, great. Thank you, Sheriff Brown.
I'm back. Sorry, I got knocked.
Okay, go ahead, Katie.
I think I articulated what my concern was, which was sort of the lack of information forming a level.
Let Katie know we're getting feedback.
I think you might have to mute
Yep.
Sheriff Brown.
Yep, I just muted him. Go ahead, Katie.
I guess I just wanted to discuss the position, us being in a position of having a lack of information and that sort of defaulting to a level 1, or, we don't have information about his community supervision. We don't have information about whether or not he completed sex offender treatment. We do know that he fled and evaded arrest for 3 years. And then that was sort of a level 1. And I guess I just have concerns about calling it a level 1 when it's not informed based on actual information about this particular offender. I don't know that the right result is to against him, but I do also know that offenders have the opportunity to provide us with that information if they're unhappy with their leveling. So I just wanted to kind of put that on the board's radar and discuss, because I feel uncomfortable that we don't know really much of anything about this individual.
So I would say during the follow-up training, we're going to be discussing some of these issues, that being one of them. So I don't know if you want to pull the case and reintroduce it next month or move forward with it, but we will be discussing that.
So Katie, do you want us to pull that case?
Yeah, I think that would be my preference. If I would make a motion to do that, if that's the appropriate procedure.
And what's that number? What's the case number?
It is 23425.
You got that, Tracy?
Yep, I got it.
So with Katie motioning to pull 23425, do I get a second on that?
I second that.
Any other discussion or concerns about 23425 before we pull it? Okay, Tracy, we're going to pull that case, and now we're down to 16
15.
minus 1 recusal. Correction?
Right. Yes, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's 15 total that you'll be voting on.
Okay. Tracy, can I get a roll call on the level 1 cases, please?
Do you want to make a motion?
I thought we already did, but that's okay. We'll do it
You
again.
did on polling. Oh, I thought it was just on polling the case.
Okay, no problem. Do we hear a motion to adopt the level 1 cases as presented to us this morning?
I motion.
I second.
Tracy?
I'm sorry, I missed who seconded that.
Lori?
Lori. Okay, thanks. Okay, Mindy,
Aye.
Gerard,
Aye.
Sheriff Brown, Sheriff Brown, Sheriff Brown, I don't know if you're there and you're muted. We can't move forward until we get his vote.
I will say sometimes when you mute someone else, they can't get off of it. And I don't know if that's what's happening because we muted him, right?
The phone, but that phone, let's see. Okay, let's see. I can ask him to unmute, so maybe.
Yeah, sometimes they can't. I've
Okay.
done it before.
It only allows me to ask him to unmute. It doesn't
Oh.
actually unmute him. There we go. Sheriff Brown?
Aye.
Thank you. Oops. Matthew, other than your recusal,
Aye.
which of course the recused case we are not voting on at all.
Right. Aye.
Katie
Aye.
and Lori,
Aye.
those 15 cases pass.
Okay, moving on to the level 2 cases. Tracy, I'm showing 13.
Correct.
With the level 2 cases, do we have any recusals for conflict?
Matthew has 2 recusals that I have noted, which is 20393 and 30028. Matthew, do you have any other recusals other than that?
No, I apologize. I thought those were automatically pulled. Yeah, no.
Okay, yeah, I just read it for the record. That's okay.
Okay, no problem.
And then Frank has a recusal, but he's not here to vote anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Do we have any recusals for failure to review any of the level 2 cases? Do we have any debate, discussions, or concerns for any of the level 2 cases at this time? Do I hear a motion on the level 2 cases?
I motion that we adopt the level 2 cases.
I second.
Tracy?
Okay, Mindy,
Aye.
Gerard,
Aye.
Sheriff Brown,
Aye.
Matthew,
Aye.
Katie,
Aye.
Lori,
Aye.
they pass.
Okay. Looking at the 18 sexually dangerous predator cases, I'm showing out of the 18 cases, 1 Frank Mullis recusal and 3 Matt Connolly recusals. Tracy?
Yes, Matt's recusals include 19860, 22661, and 25221. Matthew, do you know of any other recusals?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, thank you.
At this time, do we have any recusals for conflict with any of the SDP cases? Any recusals for failure to review any of the content of the SDP cases? Any debate, discussion, or concerns on any of the SDP cases this morning? Do I hear a motion?
I motion that we adopt the SDP cases.
A
Second.
second?
Was that Katie who seconded?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Tracy?
Okay, Mindy, any questions or concerns about any of the SDP cases?
No questions, no concerns. My vote is aye.
Gerard, any questions or concerns about any of the SDP cases?
No questions or concerns, Tracy, and my vote is also aye.
Sheriff Brown, any questions or concerns about any of the SDP cases?
No questions, no concerns. My vote is aye.
Matthew, any questions or concerns about any of the SDP cases?
No, my vote is aye.
Katie, any questions or concerns about any of the SDP cases?
No. Aye.
And Lori, any questions or concerns about the SDP cases?
No, my vote is aye.
They pass.
Great, and moving on to the re-eval cases, I'm showing 9. And out of the 9, I'm showing 1 recusal by Frank Mullis and 1 recusal by Matt Connolly. Tracy?
Yes, Matthew's recusal is 5522. Matthew, do you have any other recusals?
No.
Okay, so we will be removing that, so we'll have 8 reevaluation cases.
With the re-eval cases, do we have any recusals for conflict this morning? Any recusals for failure to review any of the re-eval cases? Do we have any debate, discussions, or concerns for any of these cases this morning? Tracy?
Did you motion?
Do I hear a motion to adopt the re-eval cases?
I make a motion to adopt the re-eval cases.
Second.
Tracy?
Mindy, any questions or concerns about any of the reevaluation cases?
No, and my vote is aye.
Gerard, any questions or concerns about the reevaluation cases?
No questions or concerns, and my vote is aye.
Sheriff Brown, any questions or concerns about any of the reevaluation cases?
No, and my vote is aye.
Okay. Matthew, any questions or concerns about any of the reevaluation cases?
No, my vote is aye.
Katie, any questions or concerns about any of the reevaluation cases?
No, aye.
And Lori, any questions or concerns about any of the reevaluation cases?
No, my vote is aye.
And they pass.
Okay, before we move to adjourn, once again, I'd like to thank everyone for taking time out of their busy schedules to participate in the meeting. We certainly need your input, and this is what makes us strong as an agency. Before we adjourn, Tracy, can you give us like a little heads up on what you would like for the training before we sign off?
Yeah, so training will not be made public. This is a training for the board members, and we're going to give you guys a 10-minute break. And what that will do is allow Kirsten and Marcus and I to get set up. And so please be back within 10 minutes so we can get started on time, because I know a lot of people have a lot going on and need to end as soon as possible. So yeah, so that's it.
Are we staying on this same Zoom link?
Yep, you are.
Awesome.
And as Tracy pointed out, you don't have to be on video. You can just mute out of that, and you can just enjoy the audio.
Well, let me tell you this with a video. If you can stay on at least initially, because I'm going to be doing an introduction of everybody. The staff is going to be also coming on. All the staff will be on. So if y'all could keep your videos on until then, I'd appreciate it.
Great. Mark down on your calendars, our next meeting is October 19th. So at this time, do we hear a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I motion.
Second.
All right, everyone, stand by. And once again, thanks for tuning in today. Have a great one. No, I didn't want to read.